Today's video is going to be super short. It's just a summary of what we did today. Let's say we were comparing 2n plus 6. Everybody write this one. Equals 16. And 2n plus 6 is greater than 16. On those two problems, would you do anything differently? No, you do them exactly the same way. You'd subtract 6 from both sides. And this would be 2n equals 10. Well, that's an easy one. Is it okay on the last step to not show your work? Yes. If you can see it like 2n equals 10, sure, just go n equals 5. Boom. I'm fine with not showing work on a super simple step at the end. All right. But n greater than 5. See, I skipped a step, and it's okay. But please always circle your answer at the bottom. Okay? So when will an inequality be different? Watch, I'm just going to edit my work. If this had been a negative 2, this would have been a negative 2. And then when I divided by negative 2, I would have got negative 5. And what other thing would have been different?
The sign.
The sign. And the sign would have switched around. Whenever you divide by a negative, like to get rid of that 2, the sign switches around. Okay. So that is all you really needed to learn for today. So why is there something else still in Schoology? Because today, that was a little too easy. That was all stuff you've done before. And so we're going to look over 5 problems off of those most important, I keep calling these things the 20. There are 20 things you need to know from regular algebra, Those 20 things, I broke them up into little sets of 5 to make it a little more manageable. Because it's kind of hard to remember 20 things at once. Okay, so would you please look in Schoology and find the file that talks about the basic 20. And it's 5 problems from the basic 20. So now you're opening a document called the basic 20 problems 1 through 5. Do you think I need to talk about number 1 that says 3x equals 8? Do you think I need to teach you how to do that? No, too easy. So we're skipping that one. You're good on that kind. Should I talk about graphing? Yeah, I think some of you guys may have forgotten that. Y equals 3x plus 1, and what if they said graph? Do you remember something called the slope? That number in front of the x, that's the slope. Does that ring a bell? And then, would you agree that 3 is the same as 3 over 1? So if I put a 3 over 1, and then do you remember that your teacher back then taught you that it was rise over run? It's 3 rise and 1 run. Why do you care? Because say you're graphing it. This is your starting spot at the y-intercept. You start at 1, and then you rise 3, and then you go over 1, and you put a dot. There's your 2-second reminder on how to graph. You start at the y-intercept, which was at 1 right there, and then you rise 3 and run 1, and that's how you get another point. And then you just draw a line through them. So let's see if you really caught that. So let's say I had to graph y equals 2/3 x plus 2. You'd start at the y-intercept there. You'd put a dot right there. And how much would I rise? 2. That's the rise. I go up 2. And how much would I run? So I'd go over 3. Get how that worked? What's this thing called again? Starts with an S. Slope. What's this thing called? Y what?
Intercept.
Y-intercept. Okay. So there's your 2-second reminder about basic graphing. Do I think you're a pro yet? Nope. But that's where you start. And this is how much rise you go from there. Like we started here. You go rise over run. All right, there's my 2-second review of that. Here's the next one. And when we're done with this, we're going to take a little quiz on it. So try your best right now to remember this as much as you can. The next one is, can you make an equation from me saying some words? Try it. Twice this imaginary number, hint, put an N. Twice this imaginary number plus 4 is 20. I'm going to say it again. Twice the imaginary number plus 4 is 20. The ACT a lot of times will give you words instead of the actual equation. Did you get this? Twice the number, and then I said plus 4 is, what do I put for an is then? Equals 20. See how that, my words turned into an equation? That's a skill. Is can you take written words and change it to an equation, which we just practiced this. You just subtract 4, 2n equals 16, n equals 8. Circle your answer. Okay, so what's the skill here? Can you write this from words that I say? I'm going to give you one more like that. So here's some words. See if you can make the equation. John added 8 to 4 times the number, and he got 40. John added 8 to 4 times the number, and he got, what did I say again? 40, thank you. John added 8, so that's like 8 plus 4 times the number, and he got 40. See how I just turned it into an equation, and now it's easy. It's just, can you take words, make them an equation? That's an important skill. And some of you might have forgot that. Yes?
It doesn't matter if I put 4n plus 8.
Nope, you could reverse these two and it would be fine. Because you know on add, you can switch them. If it was minus, then it would matter. Because like 2 minus 8 is different than 8 minus 2. So on minus, that wouldn't be able to be switched. But on plus, sure, you can switch it. All right, so that's the third of the important algebra things that I want you to remember. So far, are you feeling pretty good about these? Maybe the graphing was a little rough, but that's not too bad yet, is it? Okay, and then here's 2 more, the last 2 of the algebra topics that I want you to remember called the basic 20. One of them is slope, and then one of them is multiplying fractions. So here's the slope one. 2 comma 3 is a dot somewhere on the graph. 5 comma 6 is another dot somewhere on the graph. What's the slope between them? Anybody remember this deal where you go y minus the y over, you remember the rest of it? X minus the x, yep. So you go 6 minus 3 over 5 minus 2. So what I did there? This minus this over that minus that. Okay, so the final answer would have been 3 over 5 minus 2 is 3. Oh, simplifies to 1. The slope was 1. And remember, the slope goes in the equation like if you see one like this, that's where your slope goes, right in front of the x. That's how you get a slope. So if I give you 2 points, you got to know to subtract their y's and go over, subtract their x's. All right. And the last one is the simplest of them all. 2/3 times 3/4. I can make this more complicated, but there's a really easy way. That times that, 6. That times that, 12. The answer is 6/12. So, do you get a multiply? You just multiply across the top and multiply across the bottom. Yes, you should simplify, because yeah, that makes, I like to go 6 times 1 over 6 times 2, and then the 6's cancel 1/2, see? But multiplying fractions is so easy. Prove that you got that. 4 over 3 times 1 over 7, don't overthink it, What's the answer? Ian, what's on top?
4.
And what's on the bottom?
21.
And that's the answer. That's it. Just multiply across the top, multiply across the bottom. One little step at a time. You get those 5. Maybe you can get 4 out of 5 on that now. I mean, I hope you could probably get 4 out of 5 questions like that. So let's do that right now. We're coming near the end of the class, and your homework is a worksheet, which I'd like to open with you first. So just so you don't forget that there's actually homework. I'm refreshing this to make sure that. There it is. So find the worksheet. It's called Solving Equations and Inequalities. And that worksheet, the first problem is x minus 5. It starts with x minus 5 if you found the right page. X minus 5 is the first problem. And it goes on from there. And I ask you to do for this assignment is, you know how there's multiple parts, parts of the worksheet, but they kind of start getting different at problem 9 was where you get the inequalities. I want you to just do the evens all the way through number 9 and then stop. Okay? So just problems. Yup, the even ones. 2, 4, 6, and 8. But then you also have to do number 9. So problems 2, 4, 6, 8, and 9 is a long one. So since 9's a really long one on the worksheet, 2, 4, 6, 8, and 9, on number 9, the first few are pretty easy. So I'm going to have you skip A, B, and C. So all you have to do is 9, D, E, and F. So on number 9, you just do 9D, 9E, and 9F. Okay.
And do number 10.
And nope.
Don't do number.
Skip number 10 too. So it's just 2, 4, 6, 8. And on number 9, we're doing about half of them.
I just find it funny how you were like, these are easy, so we're going to skip them.
Well, I guess I'll think of it this way. I am trying to give you evidence that I'm willing to cut the assignment way down. You know, like I know I could just have assigned that and you could have probably done it, but I really want you to see you don't have to do tons, but you have to do just some important ones. But you please keep doing them. Because if you have too long of assignments, then the teacher just the kids get this is too much. I just can't do it. I don't want to do it. I'm going to skip my math. Please be the kid who's he even cuts out a bunch to make it smaller. So I guess it's reasonable. He's only asking me to do 6 problems. I'll do it. Okay? Just get your homework done. No excuses.
The quiz is.
Oh wait, that quiz, I actually am decided because I don't want to give you too much this weekend. We're going to do that in class together. So that little Schoology quiz thing, I'm going to just move that to Monday. You already started at Warner. I changed my mind. We're running out of time quick here. So I'd rather keep you focused on the new stuff for today. And we'll practice those 5 things together on Monday. And we'll add 5 more. So by the end, we'll have practiced all those 20 things, the basic 20, and then I'll give you this 20 question test. And hopefully, if I teach them to you 5 at a time, when you get there, you'll do pretty well on your algebra review. Question. Your first test isn't until the end of next week. And it's not for sure on Friday. I need to, we'll see. I got to kind of see how you guys are progressing. So for right now, just do your homework. And you do 2, 4, 6, 8, and 9, D, E, and F. Okay? Now, also look, sometimes I post the key. I think I posted the key last time, and I might post the key again. Because if I post the key, you can check it. And always circle your answers at the end. All right, before I stop the video, I have 2 more hands raised, so yes. Individual thing? Okay, then I'm going to stop the video, and that's all we have for today. I'll move that Schoology quiz to Monday. I'm going to add this one last piece of advice for the kid there's a couple kids absent right now. And for problem 4, there was variables on both sides. So I showed the kids how to pick which of the smaller of the two, and you get rid of that one. So we added 5D to both sides as our first step on problem 4 of the homework.